Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathashala. Myself, Professor B.K. Chaudhary, retired professor, Department of Library and Information Science, Sambalpur University, Odisha. Today I would like to talk to you about Cataloguing of Special Materials and Electronic Resources according to AACR2 revised 1988 and 202 edition. Paper name is Knowledge Organizational Structure and Cataloguing. Before I start the module, I would like to discuss what is introduction. So, in introduction, as you all know that this is the age of information explosion, this is the age of information flood. A lot of literatures are coming to the world, and it is very difficult on the part of the library staff, librarian, document officers, how to organize, how to access and how to locate such materials. Secondly, there is an advent of information communication technology and the advent of electronic resources, because there is a very growing demand on the use of electronic resources. So, this is the age which demands that how to organize, catalog the non-book materials, because non-book materials are occupying a very strategic place in the library world. So, with this background, I would like to discuss about the objectives of this module. This module attempt to provide an overview of cataloging of various types of special materials and electronic resources according to the prescribed rules and choice of access points as given in AACR 2nd revised and 202 edition, so that you will have a clear-cut idea about how to catalog the materials. The next objective is you must acquaint about the relevant rules of how to catalog each type of special materials, because there is a lot of difference between the cataloging of books, printed materials, than the cataloging of special materials. And it is difficult also to know where the informations are available in the non-book material, because some of the materials you cannot read through your naked eye. You require some microfilm reader, some computer, some machines. So, then secondly, what is the physical description? You know, the printed book is having title page and it is made of papers and bound by thick bound A. But about the question of special materials like motion picture, video recording, microfilm, microfiche, the physical structure is totally changed. By seeing the physical structure of the motion picture, you cannot know what are the informations are given in that way. But if you look at the title page of a book, you can readily know the name of the author, the name of the title, where it is published, when it is published, what is the edition. We all know that printed materials occupies a large space in the libraries, especially on the bookshelf, and you know all the libraries are inadequate of space. So, it is a space problem. So, people are calling that the printed materials are space eaters, where the non-book materials are space savers. So, special materials have got a long preservatory value. If you will compare with the printed materials are going to be destroyed, are going to be damaged by environment, by climate, by so many insects, whereas it is not the same case as the non-book material. Secondly, for transportation, we cannot send the printed material from one place to another person, but the non-book materials can be sent very easily. Secondly, portability. What is portability? What do you mean by portability? Portability means to carry the things easily. If you can very easily carry a CD, or beforehand there was a floppy, now pen drive. But regarding the book, you have to carry those multi-volumes of books, long number of volumes. Nowadays, the CDs are available in number of Encyclopedia Britannica is there, Encyclopedia Library Information is there. All the volumes are being recorded in a CD, which is very handy, very portable, can be carried from one place to another, can be sent from one place to another without any difficulty. So, space and portability and transportation are the very plus points of special materials. And secondly, if we will go on teaching in the class about Taj Taj Mahal is located wherever Taj Mahal. But some people cannot remember everything. Some 40% will go over there, some 30% will come through the year. But when there is a lecturer on Taj Mahal showing the Taj Mahal and with the enchanting music, people will remember for longer time. So these are the most useful utility of non-book materials. Then come to the problems of cataloging of special materials. What are the problems a cataloger will face while cataloging the special materials? If we take an experience or take a survey that people, all the catalogers, they feel very convenient, very easy to catalog the printed materials, because all the informations are given on the title page systematically. But in case of microfilm, microfiche, micro opaque, then motion picture, video recording, you need a machine to read all those materials where it is recorded. You cannot see through your naked eye that what it is written there. So you need a how to handle the machine, that is also necessary, that is also demanding on the catalogers. So unless the cataloger doesn't know how to handle those machines, he cannot read, he cannot know what are the information available, he cannot catalog those things. Secondly, the microfilm, micro opaques are informations are very less. But on the other side, if we will compare, the readers want more information about the documents. So it is difficult on the cataloger how to give him the maximum information to the reader, so that he or she can choose the document he desired. So he has to search some other reference sources, some other sources to get more information. Then thirdly, the rules of printed materials and periodicals are given specifically. But how to catalog special materials, non-book materials, it is very difficult in the rules. So the cataloger must be thorough. He must read all the rules of the cataloging codes to know what is the suitable rule for choice of access point for describing the special materials. So these are the problems will be faced by the catalogers. Then what are the cataloging of special materials we want to discuss in this module? First is cartographic materials. What do you mean by cartographic materials? Cartographic materials consist of maps, atlases and globes. So how to catalog maps, how to catalog atlases, how to globes. It is included in the catalog materials. Secondly, manuscripts. What do you mean by manuscripts? Manuscripts are written in the palm leaves by hand many years back. So that is not printed. So it is also one kind of special attention must be given how to catalog the manuscripts. Then secondly, the music and sound recordings. So many types of sound recordings as there, sound cassette, sound tape reel, so many things. Then comes the motion picture and video recording, because now there is a great demand for to know the best pictures and the some lectures given by something. So motion picture and video recording. What is video recording? What is its physical descriptions? Because it is totally different from the physical description of the printed materials. Then comes the graphic materials and computer files, because now computer is a basic opportunity in all parts of the library, in all parts of the software field. So you must know how to catalog computer files. Then last is three-dimensional artifacts, relia and microforms. Then also we have to discuss about the electronic resources, because the electronic resources are playing a very important role nowadays in the libraries. Then as I told you, then first let us discuss what is catalog material, what is its scope. Under catalog material, what are the materials are coming in catalog materials? As I told you earlier, catalog material consists of atlases. Atlases means, what do you mean by atlas? Atlas means it consists of lot of maps. And then what is map? Map means either a wall map, or when the consist of a lot of maps are bound together, it is called atlas. Then globe. You know, globe is situated on a metal cradle. So globes are also necessary, because in the libraries, in school libraries, in +2 college libraries, in English speaking libraries, they are having maps and globes, because globes the students can know or the location of the geographical places of the world. So they are also playing a very important role. So unless we know how to catalog, you cannot be appended in future in the map library. Then what are the things to be given in the catalog material? What is the source of information? From where you will get the information to catalog the materials? What are the chief source of information? Like as I told you, as you all know, the title page is the chief source of information for a cataloger in case of printed book, in case of journals. But in case of cataloging material, the chief source are the object itself, regarding the globes. Very less information you will find on the globe, but in the box where it will come, where it is come in the box, then there is accompanying material is there, accompanying material. There it is written on which information the globe has been prepared. Then the container, as I told you, container, cover, envelope. So these are the chief source of information the cataloger must consult to get the information. Now question comes, now I am discussing about the description about the cataloging material. So how to describe? So I have given a simple specimen copy of an entry element of cataloging material. First, creator of the work. What do you mean by creator of the work? The creator of the work is the person who is responsible for that work, or under whom you will prepare the main entry for the students. So just after the creator of the work comes the title. What is the title of that cataloging material? Then comes the, what do you mean by GMD? GMD is General Material Designation. Why it is necessary? If you will not give whether it is a map, whether it is atlas, whether it is a globe, then the students will be misguided, because they will think that it is a book. So when they will wasting time, they will search the book. It is not a book actually. It is either a map or atlas or a globe. So GMD is necessary for that. What is parallel title? Parallel title means, suppose it is written in Hindi, again it is translated to English. So it comes by giving a equal sign, parallel title. Then first statement of responsibility. What do you mean by statement of responsibility? Responsibility means the person who is responsible for creating that work, that name will give. Then each subsequent statement of responsibility. Subsequent statement means first author, then comes the editor, translator, or the compiler or the composer. Then comes the edition statement, whether it is first edition, whether it is second edition. That you have to also mention, because the readers are always interested to read the latest edition. Then comes the where it is published, then who is the publisher, then when it is published. Because the latest date of publication is always attract the readers. Then comes the extent of item. Extent of item means whether it is one atlas, whether it is two maps, whether it is three globes. Then comes the dimension. Dimension means dimension, whether it is 3 inches or it is 4 by 3 by 4 inches. Dimension means radius. Plus accompanying material. Accompanying material means, if you will purchase a computer, then some printed materials are there. If you will purchase a washing machine, if you will purchase a fridge, or if you will purchase a medicine also, then accompanying material is there. Because how to use, what are the instructions about the computer material, that is necessary. So because accompanying material gives a lot of information to the cataloger. Then notes, some special information must be given in that. Then what is standard number? Standard number is ISBN. Tracing. What is tracing? Tracing means the record of added entries prepared by the cataloger to satisfy the other approaches of the readers. Then I have discussed choice of access point. Means who is the creator? How to determine the heading of that cartographic material. So rule, if you will consult AACR2 rule, if you will consult rule 21.1C1, it is written that the map or if a composer, if a cartographer, or the person who is chiefly responsible for the creation of that work is called the author. So if there is an author given in the map, you straight enter the main entry under author. Suppose there is no author, it is ambiguous, it is not clear who is the author of that work. So in many cases, title is the second approach. So title means what? Railway map of India, tourist map of New Delhi, and it is being published by Department of Tourism, New Delhi. So then comes the title. Here title is prominent. So you can very safely enter the main entry under the title. Then you can prepare one added entry under the department who has published it. Then comes the statement of scale, and that is very important. Statement of scale is, you see, if you will see map on the right side of the map, you will find that one scale 1 is to 30,000 miles. So that is the scale given. So scale is important. Just after the statement of responsibility other area, that mathematical data area comes, which consists of statement of scale. So you have to give 1 is to whatever given that. Then like that addition statement will come. Like that projection speed. Statement of projection means whether it is equity distance, whether it is a projection, what type of projection is there. If it is necessary, the cataloger can give it, because the code has given opportunity, scope to the cataloger. If it is appropriate, you can give, or if you are not appropriate, you may not give. Like that, it comes the yours physical description, whether one map, whether it is colored, whether it is colored, then what is the dimension of that map, whether it is accompanying material is there or not, that you can give. Also there are notes section is there. So there are 17 types of notes are given in the cataloging material. So I hope you have understood how to catalog the cataloging material. Now come to the cataloging of manuscripts. The rules cover the description of manuscripts in chapter 4, which includes the dissertations, the speeches, the letters and books, because these are also available in manuscripts, legal papers also. Then comes the who is the chief source of information, from where you will get the information while cataloging of non-book material. The most important information is from title page, from colophon, from caption, heading, and the content. If you are not satisfied with those informations, you have to read the contents of the manuscript, so that you will get little information, because unless you give maximum information in the catalogue, the readers is misguided, they are not satisfied. So if there is a single manuscript, you can write MS. If it is written by the own or handwritten by the author, it is, you can say, holograph. So now comes the heading. Now I told you regarding the description, but now comes under whom you will prepare the main entry, or the readers will look under which heading. That is called the determination of heading. What is the rule? The rule is same as I told you earlier. Rule is 21.1a. It is also said a author is the person who is chiefly responsible for the thought content or creation of the intellectual or artistic content of a work. So the person who is responsible for that work is the creation, and you can very safely make the main entry under that heading. Then all other informations are same as I told you in case of cataloging material, but there is addition statement. Here also if it is given addition statement, you have to give addition statement, then followed by the date of manuscript. Then what is the physical description you can give? Here no pages are coming, 24 leaves. Then what is the size of the manuscript? Then you can give. Then comes your publication distribution area is not necessary in this manuscript, because it is not published and it is not being published by anybody. So publisher question doesn't arise. As I have already told you, so the same thing as I have discussed, given you the first the specimen copy of entry element. Also notes are there given. So whenever there is important significant contribution is there in that palm leaf, the cataloger is free to give that important note. Then comes the question of music. So how to catalog the music? Music means where is given the detail about the list of music are given, whether it is published music or not. So, there is a detailed description for the general library catalog. For description of the recorded music, the rules are given in chapter 5 in the AACR2 code. So, if you will go through very carefully the rule 5, you can very easily catalog the music. Then comes the, what is the chief source? From where you will get the information while cataloging the music, because it is little bit different from other sources. So, the caption, the cover, the colophon, other preliminaries and other sources you have to search to bring the information, so that with the help of those informations you can very safely catalog the music. Then comes the, what is the general rule? In AACR2, if you will consult, he has the AACR2 people, they have given specific rule for how to catalog the music. So, if you will consult 21.9a, then for musical works 21.18a, lot of rules are given very elaborately, very clearly in a very simple language, and there also the in the code they have given also examples. So, if you will go through the examples and the rules, you can very easily know, and if you will append in a music library, you can know, you will not face any problem to catalog the music. Then these are the questions of arrangement, transcription. These are also the form of music, that is a form of music. So, I have given a single example. Suppose there is a music, The Eternal Friendship, by Bob Williams, and arranged for global orchestra by James Franklin. So, here what we will do, you have to prepare the main entry under the Williams and prepare one added entry, because some readers may come to search under the arranger. So, that is added entry, you can very easily can done through Franklin. So, this is just an example I have given to give you more elaborate clear concept. Then all other rules are, all other description part are same as I have told you. So, the 5.5b, that is the other physical, they are given. What is given? They have given the, suppose for example, one score, 1 plus 1 piano. Then say how many parts are there in piano? There are suppose 5 parts. You write 5 parts. Then give the dimension. Then accompanying material as I explained you, it gives some information, printed material. So, that also you can give, and note area is same like other non-book materials. Then let us discuss about the sound recording. What is sound recording? Sound recordings, you know, you are all using the sound recordings, tape reel, tape cassette, then disc. So, these are the examples of sound reel, cartridge, like that. So, what is the chief source? From where you will get the information to catalog such sound recordings? First is a disc. Suppose disc. Then where you will get the information? Disc and label. You know what is label? Label is being pasted on that item. So, label, something is written. That is helpful to you, so also helpful for the readers. Then tape. Then tape cassette. Where you will get? From cassette and label. So, label is very important. Tape cartridge from label. Then sound recording on film, container and label. So, label is very important. Then under whom will you prepare the main entry? Now, question comes. So, the main entry for sound recording is based on the same principles of personal authorship as I have told you. Rule 21.1a, 21.1b2 is for corporate body. So, if it is coming under corporate body, what do you mean by corporate body? Corporate body means a group of persons, a organization. When they are bringing out something, it is called the work of a corporate, because one person is not responsible. But personal authorship is only 1 or 2 or 3 persons are responsible for that work. So, these are the two very important rules. So, they have also given specific rules in general rule 24.1b2. If you will go through it or if you will refer it, they have given very categorically regarding the sound recordings. So, they have given a lot of rules to the cataloger, so that he will not have any confusion while cataloging documents. Now, then comes the extent of item. What do you mean by extent item? And how many items? One sound disc, two sound cassettes, like that. Then what are the other physical details? Other physical details means what is the dimension of that sound recording. So dimension you have to read 7 inches into 3 inches or 1/4 inch in tape, like that. Whatever given you have to give. So they have given lot of dimensions, giving a very free hand to the cataloger. Then as it is given, as in case of all the non-book materials, the note section is 6.7b to 6.7b 18. That means they have given 18 types of notes, so that the cataloger can give in the note section which he has not given in the main part of the main entry. So I have where you will give the language. Suppose the song is in French, you will write song in French. Suppose song in Hindi, song in Hindi. So then comes the source of title proper. If it is different from other title, you can write there. Then physical description. Physical description, suppose specific sound recordings are there. Suppose one people has recorded on one item. So duration you will give duration. Then another is if seconds are there, you can write 8 minutes dot 6 sec, SCC dot. Sec is for seconds. Then comes your other physical details as it is applicable to others. So summary also given. Suppose sound recording is meant for whom, what it contains. If it is appropriate, you can write in the note section summary. Summary you can write in a very simple and section. Then comes the very important, very popular non-book material, that is called motion picture and video recording. You see, you are always interested to see motion pictures in your home by bringing the video recording, like that. So when you are going to the shop, what you are doing, what you are asking them, you are asking them, you give me this film's name. So title is the most popular approach for cataloging of motion picture, because title, they want title. Then comes who is the next responsible, producer or director. The important thing, the cataloger faces problems while cataloging motion picture means, suppose there is a film, suppose the film is very successful, then who are the claimants? You see, producer is telling that I spent crores of rupees, so successful goes to me. But director says, I have given the best direction. The music director said, I have given the best music. People are coming to see film, to see the music, to listen the music. The singers, they told, we have sung so nicely. Our songs are popular, so people are interested. Then hero and heroine, cast, actor and actress, they are telling we have acted very nicely. So there are so many claimants. So it is very difficult on the part of cataloger under whom will prepare the main entry. But if we will have experience, if we will go through many video recordings and motion pictures, it is 90% cases the main entry is prepared under title. But if a serial or a document is prepared by corporate body, suppose the Minister of Defence, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, they want to show what is their achievement. So the department is responsible for that motion picture. Here title will not be applicable. So two cases are coming. Many cases title, secondly the corporate body. The choice of assessment, I have already told you. So you must have a clear-cut idea about how to prepare the main entry under EA. Then comes the description part. Yes, what is a motion picture? See, motion picture, the informations are not printed, are not given in the printed pages. So here what you are having? Suppose film reels are there. Then comes the reels. How many duration? In the printed page, what happened? 360 pages. So you know that the book consists of 360 pages. But in case of motion picture, no consist of pages. It duration. So it consists of 130 minutes or 200 minutes, like that. And then how many seconds? If there is seconds, you write 4 minutes dot 30 seconds. Then come whether it is a colored film or not. If it is a colored film, then you have to give you have to give one film reel colon call, if sound is there, sound, and if some sequences are in black and white, you can write B and W, whether it is 35 mm or 70 mm, that we have give. The mm is what? Millimeter. That. Then comes the 24 fps also there, frame per second. If it is given, that also you can give, if it is possible. Then dimension also you have to give. So what dimension? I have given a single example. One video disc, suppose, then you bring 26 minutes within bracket, then give colon, sound you have to write, because sound is there. Before that, long back there was silent films are there. So sound means SD you have to write, dot black and W, then give a semicolon and write the dimension 8 inch. You don't write inch, you have to write IN dot. IN is short form, abbreviated form of A. Then comes the series area. Then as usual, nodes area are coming. So there are also a lot of nodes are there. Why nodes is important in case of motion picture? Because you cannot, you only in the main part, statement responsible area, you can give producer name, you can give director name, but you have no right to give the cast, means hero, heroine, the other, the music director, editor, you cannot give. So in the note section, they have given you the chance, you write cast and credit, because it is very important note. So there are many notes. For motion picture, you have to give notes. Special book materials is different from printed materials, because in the notes section you have to use heavily, because you cannot give all types of information in the main entry. So in the notes section, if it is possible, you can give. Then comes hopefully you have understood how to catalog the motion picture and video recording. That is rule 7. Now comes to rule 8. Rule 8 consists of graphic materials. What do you mean by graphic materials? Which materials are given in graphic material? Those are charts, wall charts, technical drawing, then photographs, flashcards. So if these are coming to your library, how to catalog? If you do not know, you cannot work in that library. So what are the chief source of information? The chief source is the box, the frame, accompanying textual material, manuals, leaflet, they are given in that graphic material. So by seeing that, you can know the other informations. So also you can see the item itself. Item means if there is a technical drawing, it must be written who has done the technical drawing, what is the title of drawing. So if you are not satisfied with those things, you can go for the container, box, frame, like that. Then what is the rule? As I said earlier many times, 21.1a, that is the author, will be applicable. Likewise, corporate body. So graphic material also same as like the author, so also like the corporate body. Then comes your 8.4F2, that is the record the date of creation of an original. So when the original is created, that is whether unpublished photograph or unpublished graphic items. If it is unpublished, then you can give the date of creation, otherwise it is not necessary at all. Then question of 8.5b, as you know 8.5b is a physical description in all the cases. So I am giving a simple example. Suppose there is a graphic material and you can write 2 wall charts. If there are wall charts, you can write 2 wall charts, or you can say 1 film chip cartridge or 100 slides or 6 stereograph reels. Then immediately after that, you add the designation for a film strip. What is the designation? 1 film strip, 20 FR. What do you mean by 20 FR? FR means frame. In the frame, you will get the information. Or if there is a flip chart, sheets are there. Sheets are there. SHEETS. Sheets are there. If it is there, you just immediately give within the bracket the number of sheets. Then I am giving a simple example. 1 film strip, suppose 20 frames are there. Then say you give a semicolon, then give the 2 title frame, then bracket ends, then give the sound immediately. So how we will write sound? I told you earlier, SD. Then if it is colored, then full stop, give full stop, write COL. COL is short form for colored. So that you can describe the and the dimension is same, 7 into 7 cm. You can write 87 into 87 cm. You can write cm, or if it is given inches, you write whatever given in the material. Then question of accompanying material, as I told you, because accompanying material are necessary always. So then also comes the same rule, note section. As I told you, note section is very important. So note is given everywhere from 8.7b1 to 8.7b19. Here they have given 19 types of notes, which you can read, and if it is possible you can give. Then another thing comes computer files. You see, you should not have in mind that after qualifying, after passing master degree library science, I will work in a college or in a university library, because there are so many software companies are coming, IBM, HCL, Infosys, Oracle, so many. So they are having the very good libraries. So whether in that libraries are they having the books? No, they are not having books. They are having computer CDs, so computer files. So unless you do not know how to catalog the computer files, you cannot work. You cannot work heavily or competently in that software. So because your service, you should not pinpointed only the academic libraries. The situation has changed. So you must understand what is computer file. So now I am going to discuss computer files, because it is one of the most important notebook material nowadays. Computer files plays a very important role in case of the software libraries, because now there are a lot of software companies are coming up in the country and abroad. And if you want to be observed in those software companies, as I told you, in IBM, HCL, Accenture, Oracle, so many things, you must know how to catalog the computer files, because in those software libraries, books, journals, the printed books you will not get. So what are the computer files? The electronic devices such as calculators are not coming under the purview of this chapter. You must be very clear, calculators are not coming. So which are coming? The file comprise data, program, statements, those are coming in the form of computer files. So then now comes how you will get the information from computer files. So you should know very carefully and very clear in your mind that the chief source of information for computer file is the title screen. Title screen is there. If there is no title screen, what will do? The information found from other formally presented material evidence, that you have to search. The main menus, if you will see the main menus following sources sequentially, the physical career or its tables, you will get a lot of information. So you will be satisfied by seeing the menu. Then other published description of the file. Also you can refer other sources. So unless you are satisfied, unless you get a lot of information, you cannot give in the main entry. If you will not give a lot of information in the main entry, the students will never be satisfied, they will be misguided. Then comes the very important file characteristic area, because here it is a little bit information is little bit changed if you compare with the other non-book materials. So designation, when the information is readily available, indicate the type of, then use one of the following characters. So what you will use? Computer data and programs. So if they are giving you the computer data, then you write computer data. If they are giving the computer programs, you write the computer programs and give the Arabic number 23, 22 like that. So I have given simple example. No, data. Suppose that it is a computer data, and how will you write? Suppose they have given one file, you write colon 400 records, then give the bytes. Whatever the bytes are there, 2000, 1600, 1500, whatever, and give in a circular bracket. If it is a program, don't be confused. Give the appropriate number of statement of bytes. So what you write? Write computer program, one file, colon 222 statements. How many statements? Not 220. Just I have given an example. It may be 400, 10 or 15. Then come the multi-part file. So in the multi-part file, what will do? Give the approximate number of records or bytes and statement or bytes of each part. Then I have given an example, computer data. Suppose two files, colon 700 records. I have already given the example of the programs. Then physical description. Here physical description is little bit different from other sources. I am giving you just an example, one simple example. Suppose there is one computer disk is there or cartridge there, then just immediately after that you give the sound, if sound is there. If it is color, give the color. So there is no lot of difference between other things. If it is a computer disk, sound, color, whether it is single sided or single density, that you have to give. Then the dimension you will give 3 inches or 4 into 1 by 4 inches as given. So computer chip cartridge is there, dimension you can give. Then comes your node section. So in the node section, what you will find? File characteristics. So if it is different from the file characteristics you have given in the statement responsible area, if it is different, then and secondly you think that it is important from the reader's viewpoint, you can give the file characteristics. Then question of the general rules. So what is the general rule? This is called 3-dimensional artifact and relia. So chapter rule, or you can say rule 10 covers what they cover? 3-dimensional artifacts and relia. What do you mean by 3-dimensional artifact and area, and from where you will get the 3-dimensional artifact and relia? You see that there are arts are there, and some diorama is there, some statues are there. Then how to catalog those things? So in this case, the chief source of information for the materials, as I told you in this chapter, is the object itself, together with any accompanying textual material. You see, in these cases, they are giving some printed pages, printed materials are there. So if you read the printed material, you can know to which statue it belongs, when it is published, what is the name of that statue or diorama. Then you can give the information accordingly. But here one question is, you should not give a record, do not give a record of publication or distribution area for a naturally occurring object, but for an artifact not intended primarily for communication. So do not record SN. What do you mean by SN? SN means sine nomine. Sine nomine means no name of publisher. You should not give that. Then comes the item. What item you can give in the extent of item, that is 10.5b1. So suppose there is, as I told you, art original, art reproduction, Braille cassette. Braille means what? It is necessary for the blind people. Then diorama, then exhibit, games, mock-up model. Then how you will give the dimension? Suppose there is one model having 8 pieces, give color like that. Then give the size 16 into 32 into 3 cm. In case it is given in a case where it is kept 17 in 32 into 6. So that material is being kept in a case. So if that material is 16A, so case must be bigger so that it can contain safely. Then comes this 7.10 physical description. Physical description, what you will give? Already you have given, which you have not given in the physical area in the main entry. They are giving a scope to the cataloger, you can give in note section. So 7b10 shows to give the physical description area. Then the access point. As I told you, choice of access point is sometimes 21.1c. 21.1c, what it says? Where you will prepare the main entry under the title. In which cases? Suppose there is no authorship is not diffused, authorship is not established, and if there are more than 5 authors, and if it is a classic. So classic, what do you mean by classic? Classic means Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bible, Gita, these are the Upanishad, these are the classics. So in that case, you will prepare the main entry under title like that. So like that 24:16b also necessary, you can consult that. Then comes the microform. What do you mean by microform? It includes microfilm, microfiche, micro opaque and aperture cards. What happens, like the book, you cannot read the materials through your naked eye, you cannot read through your eyes. You need some microfilm reader, some microfiche reader. If you will see the reader, then you can know what is the written there. So naked eye cannot go through those type of microfilm forms. Then what is the chief source? Chief source of information. The chief source of information is the title frame. That is frame usually beginning of the item. So before beginning of the item, informations are given in the title frame. So, title frame is the most important chief source of information to catalog any kind of microforms. Then the next comes what is the aperture card. Aperture card is in the case of a set of cards, the title card, so title is given. If there is no such information, what to do? How we will get the information, from where you will get? So, do not be confused, do not be nervous if there is no such information. If the information is insufficient, as I told you, treat the eye readable data. Eye readable data means the data which can be read by the eye, printed at the top of the fiche, microfiche or opaque as the chief source of information. So, if you will consult these things, you are very clear, you can get the information, you can catalog. And now let us discuss about the choice of access point in case of the microform. Rule 1, that is called the chapter 1. So, it is same like the determination of heading is like 21.A1 personal authorship and 21.1A2, and new rule has given for 24.1.4A. So, also it is same like to enter the microform under corporate body according to rule 21.1B1 and 21.1B2. These are the very common, very important rules. You must remember these things. Then comes the rule 11.3. In 11.3, what they have given? Special data for catalog materials, music and serials. If it is coming under that microform, you have to give. So, 11.3a, what it recommends, what it prescribes? The catalog materials. And the subdivision is 11.3a1. So, mathematical data array you have to give. Then likewise 11.5c2. 11.5e, you know, that is the physical details. So, it consists of what? Illustrations. Then give how many microfiches are there. Also dimension is given by 11.5d, because 5d is common for all the rules. You must be very clear. Only the 11, 10, 9 that will be changed, but 5c2, 5d, 5d2, 5d3 it will never change throughout your cataloging purpose. So, I am giving one example. Suppose there is a aperture card. So, what we will give? You give suppose 10 aperture cards having 9 into 19 cm. This is one example. If this is a microfiche, give the length and width of the microfiche. For example, I am giving example for your better understanding. 4 microfiches, then give semicolon, 10 into 15 cm, then give full stop, hyphen, then give 14 into 17 cm. So, these are the examples of how to describe. Then comes the 11.5dB, that is micro opaque. So, same as I told you just now, it is same as the microfiche. So, do not be confused, nothing to worry. So, 11.5 is as usual accompanying material. So, accompanying material means suppose one microfilm is there. You write first one microfilm, give semicolon 16 mm, then you want to bring the accompanying material, you give a plus sign. Plus sign always brings the accompanying material. So, one pamphlet within bracket write, if there are pages write, how many pages, if there is illustration write, then if size is there, size, then bracket close. So, the accompanying material throughout your cataloging of non material, throughout everything from chapter 3 to 11, always first give plus sign, then write those material. Then 11.7b1, this is same the note section, first the language. Suppose it is in French language, you write German language. Suppose like translated to Hindi, so you write German, comma with Hindi translation. So, other notes are same like the other chapter 8, 7, 6. There is no such difference. Now comes the electronic resources. You see, electronic resources are occupying a very strategic place in the library. You see, e-books, e-text, e-journals, e-contents, so many things are coming in electronic resources and in the form of the computer disk like that. So, AACR2, when it is published in 1978, the chapter 9 was actually computer file, but subsequently lot of discussion took place, and since electronic resources came to the world, so many libraries are going to purchase electronic resources, so they have devised the rule. So, in 2002, after long discussion, deliberation, the organizers of Anglo-American cataloging rules, they have changed the computer file to electronic resources. So, chapter 9 has been replaced as the electronic resources in 2002 edition. So, what is the chief source of information? For an electronic resource, the resource itself is the most important thing, or the information from any formally presented evidence within the entire resource. So, you have to see the resource very carefully, then only you can know what is the title, who has devised or conceived it, like that. Then comes the what is the prescribed source of information. So, AACR2 code has also given chief source, so also given the prescribed source. What are the prescribed source? Source is given, you have to write, suppose there is it lacks the addition statement, but it is given in some other source. So, in that case you have to give the addition statement. Change in the program statements are there, then programming language. So, these things you must bring from some other sources to give for the benefit of the users. Then comes the very important type of sources, resources, which are not we are using in other cataloging of non materials in other chapters, but here type of resource is important in case of electronic resources. So, what are those type of resources? The type of resources are electronic data and programs. So, these are the type of electronic resources. Then what is the extent of resource? The number of records are given in the electronic data. Just I am giving a simple example for your better explanation. Suppose one electronic data is there, data consists of files, you know. So, data you give in the bracket one file, and it consists of records, you know, it is very easy thing to understand. So, one file give colon 3000 records, then give comma how many bytes are there, whether it is 1 lakh bytes, whether it is 50,000 bytes, then close the circuit. So, if there is data is given, you should give like this in your cataloging entry. If it is electronic program, you write statements, files, then statements. If it is electronic data, you write files and records as I have told you. So these are the very important examples of electronic data. Then question of 9.5b1. 9.5b1 always gives the extent of item. So, extent means what do you mean by extent of item? Extent of item means whether it is 1, 2 or 3. If it is 1, 2, 3, you give an Arabic number. Arabic means like this 1, 2, 3. Roman means you give like that, Roman. So, you must have a differentiate between a Roman number and Arabic number. So, for example, I am giving one example. If it is one computer optical disk, you write one computer optical disk. If it is a computer card, write one computer card. If it is one DVD, you write one DVD. Then how will you give the other physical details? Other physical details you can give the item itself. The item itself means the computer disk. And if sound is there, you give colon sound. If it is a color computer disk, then comma colon. If it is single sided, you write comma single sided, like that. Then comes the, again I am giving another example, one computer optical disk. It is colored, having dimension 4 into 3 by 4 inches. So, how will you give? You give after colon, after colored, give a semicolon, you write 4, 3 by 4 inches. So, like that other things you can give. So, dimension comes last, then comes the accompanying material. Suppose it is accompanied by one instructional manual, you write +1 instructional manual. If it is given a user's guide, you give +1 user's guide. So, do not be confused. So, these are very easy things I have explained very elaborately and very lucidly with a simple language. Then comes as usual note area. So, note area here 7.B8 is a little bit important. Type and extent of resources. Type and extent means whether it is a hierarchical file structure, if it is given, you write in the note section. If they have given the file size, and you have to give file size. If it is written that file size is not known, you can write file size unknown. So, also 17b, 9.716, what it prescribes, what the rule says, if it is available in other formats. Suppose it is written that this cassette or this CD or this disc is available in other formats. So, what is other formats? So, you can write other formats issued also for IBM PC and PC compatible hardware. If they have issued such things, you can write. If they have given numbers, you can read numbers. Numbers means what do we mean by numbers? ISBN, International Standard Book Number, ISSN, International Standard Serial Number. If they have given, you can write. If they have given another number, APX-1050, you can write there, no problem. So, like that there are 22 items are described in the electronic resources.